Hi, hello, my name's Devraj, and today I'm going to look at a couple of questions that people send in. First up, can you do one on the voice and projection? Great question from a chap. I think it's a guy who calls himself Junior AK. And another question that I get regularly asked is, what can I do to improve my self-esteem and feel better about myself? And before I get into a little bit practice and or theory or anything like that, I just want to say something. You know what a lot of change really comes down to at the end of the day is being willing to commit to something and going on with it, even and getting support and going on with it even when you don't want to. Basically, that's the bottom line, because you got to understand something here. When you're working with, say for example, you just want more self-esteem, okay, natural kind of desire. Or like this other chap says, you know, you just want my voice to be deeper and I can really, you know, carry my voice and I'm really heard right across the room. You know, normal stuff. But there's a big point here that you've got to understand, because, yeah, there are a lot of guys out there who will try and take a bit of money off you and offer you a quick fix solution maybe. But you'll probably find out it doesn't really work and you're just a bit poorer. And the thing to understand is that you've got to be willing to go on a journey with these things. You know, it's not like there's a bioenergetic switch you can push somewhere and suddenly you got this real deep male voice. You know, it's not reality. You know, there's not a switch you can just push. You've got to be willing to go on a journey, and that journey will have psychological content, in the sense that you will have to face certain stuff inside of you that, you know, you've been repressing. You know, because we are all, the reason why we're not so happy and content in life, or having the best sex life we could have, or, you know, feeling in our power, is because we've been repressing so much stuff. And whilst there's a lot of people out there we could blame for that, you know, the parents, the society, the school bullies, the teachers, who knows what, immigration, if you want to, anything you can find to blame, the bottom line is you're going to have to take responsibility for it if you want to change. Not to beat yourself up. You know, not to say, oh, you know, I'm so low self-esteem and I've done it to myself, what a twat I am. No, that's not giving you anything useful at all. But to say, okay, I'm carrying this issue around and I am going to deal with it. So that's the first thing, to develop that kind of awareness. And then to be aware, you know, you've got to be willing to go on a journey. And then maybe it's like the journey of the hero. You know, you want to be a hero, you've got to go on a journey and you've got to face certain challenges. Okay, so that's a little bit of a pep talk, or hopefully to give you some understanding. For both of these things with the voice, what I would say to you is you've got to get awareness and breath down into your belly, down here, in the guts, in the belly of the beast or whatever, you know, and that means breathing down there. It means doing some breathing exercises. I've got belly exercises. I've been putting them online recently and I'm going to put some more online soon. You've got to get down there into your belly. So let's just look at an exercise we can do that you can do for 5-10 minutes every day. It's a little bit off level. But basically it's just to stand your feet quite wide apart. You can't see my feet, but it's okay. They're about a yard apart, about a metre. And your knees are a bit bent, so I've got a bit of flexibility there. And my backbone's straight, but I'm flexible, you know. And I just start to breathe into my belly and start to make a bit of sound from my belly, like, oh, it's like I'm actually making a sound in my throat, but I'm trying to get something going in my belly. Oh, 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 what's happening with me, and I can feel it, you know, as soon as I start to feel into my belly, then bits of my upper body start to relax and I become quite aware of tension blocks I've got around here, you know, and you can get the same. The thing is, you need to stick with it. The thing about the belly is, yes, it will cure your self-esteem issues in the end. You will feel centered, you will feel powerful, you will feel sexual. Yes, it will clear issues you've got with your voice. It will give you the capacity to have a deep voice and for it to carry if you want it. If you're in a situation where you want to do that, where you want to be heard. But it's also the pit of the psyche. It's where we've stored all the shit, you know, and probably even, you know, old genetic ancestral, God knows what, karmic stuff locked on down there. It's the real, you know, the pit of the unconscious, so to speak. So you're going in there, you're going in somewhere, and you want to do it in not too crazy a fashion, you know. But this breathing is good. So you can do this for like 10 minutes in the morning. Keep your knees bent and your ass down low. If you can get down very low, you don't have to get down so low you hurt your quads. That's not necessary. But keep your ass down fairly low and your knees a bit bent. So you sense that your center of gravity is low. It's down by your belly. And then, yeah, every morning, 5-10 minutes of this deep breathing, and don't give up. Your mind will come up with stories every now and again why you shouldn't do it, you know. And it'll be very convincing. Maybe the stories are a bit crap at first, you keep going, but it'll get more and more convincing. And you just got to stick with it, you know. You can also step it up by bouncing a little bit, like... just jumping off the floor slightly. You can either come up on you to bring your heels off the floor and down and make the as your heels hit the floor, or even jump right up. You do 5-10 minutes every day. If you can commit to 10, that's great, and it will start to pull your awareness down into your belly, and a lot of change will happen when you do that. Okay. If you watch this video and it's still Sunday, in about 3 hours time I'm doing some stuff. 2 hours time I'm live with some questions, so feel free to tune in then. Thank you guys for writing questions, and check me out on my Facebook group where you can get a little bit of extra support if you want to, or otherwise just keep checking in and tuning in. Okay, cool. Wishing you all the very best.